Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Waifu Watch podcast. We're here to make sure you don't waste your Crunchyroll subscription since you almost died of heat stroke.
Yeah, I love that. It's like, okay, like comparatively, it's not like as hot as places like Arizona is, but we're in the Midwest,
Yeah,
so
okay,
like
it's a
90
dry
degrees is like,
And it's not even that. Okay, I'll give you, to the viewers at home, for some perspective. We record in, as I'm assuming all of you know, we record in the lovely city of Chicago, Illinois, which is going through a heat wave right now. It is currently 1:20 p.m. on Monday, and it's about 83 degrees outside.
It's not fun when it's so hot.
It's been hot all day, and also it's been a busy weekend for all of us. On top of our show watching, me and Mia graduated.
yeah, we graduated. I'm
feels so good.
unemployed. Woohoo!
Me too, but it's okay. I'll tell you who is employed. You'll notice an absence. Emily. She actually got employment recently, and because of that, she has training and is probably going to miss out on the next 2 weeks. So that means, as the moon, where are you at the end of the world? Soccer Quest, and I'm assuming also Sinbin is going to be absent for those next 2 weeks. So, big sizable chunk of our content just poof.
Yeah, and because of the busy weekend, I also haven't been able to watch 2/3 of my shows. I started with what I thought was probably going to be the weakest of them, and that was Twin Angel Break, and was going to work forwards, but only got through like the 5 episodes of Twin Angel I missed.
Yeah.
So there's no Allison Soroku this week and no Hinako Note, which apparently is going to be a good thing because it wasn't it's been kind of fan
So
servicey
since
apparently.
you've been gone, I've been just absent-mindedly keeping up with various aspects of Hinako Note, just off of secondhand accounts from what I've seen on Twitter and the like. And apparently that show has gotten really fan servicey in the past couple of weeks. So
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
yeah, not
Honestly,
surprised.
Ku-chan is the only thing keeping me in the show because
Because she's
like,
cute and she's good. Like that's fine.
yeah, she's cute and she's good and she's a weirdo and I love it. But like, if they lewd the little tiny 9-year-old teacher, I will drop that thing like a rock.
I'm pretty sure they have at this point.
No,
Yes, they
God,
have.
I dread watching this now.
No, honestly, but I mean, what do you expect when you have a 9-year-old with the bust of a 25-year-old in that? Like it's asking Japan not to fetishize that is like asking water not to be wet. It's just, it won't happen, unfortunately.
It just like when you have a 9-year-old character whose distinguishing characteristic is their like double D size boobs, that's already a bad start.
Yeah.
That's a real bad start.
Real fucking talk. Oh my god. But so this is going to be a little bit of a content light episode, but we still got a lot to talk about because we have 2 full weeks of shows to catch up on, and a lot of them are the big names that are out there that a lot of people have been getting behind. You know, My Hero Academia, Recreators, and of course we mentioned Twin Angel Break, but we will get all into that. But first, we're going to jump into one of my shows that I kind of caught up on that I didn't have time to get a whole lot of screen caps for, is Fukumenki Noise. And it's starting to show its shoujo failings, and not a fan of it. But despite that, I would actually say that I would still recommend this show to people because at least it's not Fuka. At least it's not fucking Fuka. So what has happened in the past 2 weeks? Well, this happened. Fucking Yuzu got the balls to actually.
What episode is this?
This is I think episode 9 2 weeks ago. Basically, the past 2 weeks has all been trying to build up to the next premiere of In No Hurry, which is at the music festival, where they're inevitably going to go against Momo's band to kind of combat In No Hurry, because Momo's a salty little fucking asshole who is mad at Yuzu for stealing Alice's voice away from him, and this whole big giant ball of drama bullshit over a fucking voice and not over, you know, as a person. Because
Jeez.
fuck feelings, like, God, like, why, like, no, she's just a voice and not an actual character, like, what the fuck, nah. But Yuzu, and this kind of in this kind of development, Alice kind of has these feelings that she builds up until she just starts screaming her head off again. And Yuzu in a heat, just like, well, how do I fucking stop it this time? I'll just fucking kiss her.
Which is, like, bad idea.
Yeah.
Bad idea. If a girl's pissed off and screaming, don't kiss her to shut her up.
Pissed off and screaming. More like just mentally unstable and screaming, which is even worse. It's like, hey,
don't do it.
Yeah, here's the highly mentally unstable girl who has very conflicting feelings against two guys. Let's just have one of the guys straight up kiss her and make things even more fucking confusing.
That's how you get your tongue bit off.
Yes.
That's how you get your tongue bit off.
That's how you
honestly.
get your dick kicked in. Like, usually,
that too, yeah.
I'm surprised that he didn't get his dick kicked in, little small ass. But but that's not even the most ridiculous thing. What made this moment, I thought, wow, okay, that's a really fucking impactful thing, and I was like, yes, on board with this. I love when Fukumenki Noise is in this spot. You want to know what Yuzu did?
What?
He's just like, well, I did it because I'm your friend, and I didn't want you to throw out your voice.
Oh. It's fucking shoujo, okay? It's shoujo.
What a weak little bitch. Like, dude.
Own it. You gotta own it, man.
Either don't say, like, to be fair, he was a little apprehensive because Alice said, it's like, well, I still have feelings for Momo. I don't know about you, Yuzu. So if you have feelings for me, I don't know if I could be Alice in no hurry. So he was kind of in a position where he could have just sucked it. But no, you know what? You're a fucking adult. I get that you're like 5'1", but just put that aside for a second. You're an adult in an adult situation.
Are they adults? They're not teenagers?
I mean, they're in the mindset of, well, at least they're not fucking children, like small baby children. They are old enough to where they can talk things out somewhat maturely. Why not go for that? Right. But then again, high schoolers are fucking dumb as shit. So, you know, that I guess you just leave it at that. So either way, Alice overcomes all this stuff over these past 2 episodes. I'm liking that they're giving her a lot of, like, more depth than is usually needed for a protagonist like her. I'm guessing it's because they want to flesh out this love triangle as much as they can. And, I mean, and like I said, all the drama stuff that's happening in this show, I will say there are parts where I'm not a fan of it, like Yuzu backpedaling on this moment and basically taking away all of its venom.
That's so shoujo, though. That's
so
like
classic
so
shoujo. It's one of the tropes of shoujo that I just fucking hate. Oh my god.
Because the will they or won't they is like real frustrating for a lot of people, and for me especially. Like, I'm not a fan of the whole will they or won't they.
Like, either commit or like either stop being a little bitch and commit, or just don't do it at all. Like, if you wanted to just shut her, just hand over the mouth. Literally anything would have been better than this. It was just.
That's how you get your hand bit.
Yeah, like what I thought was a very impactful, jarring, and genuinely shocking moment. All of that, it just sucked the air completely out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But despite that, it also managed to rebound with kind of the complexity of Momo, that, like, the kind of crisis that he's going through, where he's clearly wants to be more emotionally involved in Alice's life, but he knows that doing that will be at the expense of his creative drive, which is his only current monetary his only monetary flow right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And yeah, I will admit that's a fucking real ass problem. I had to consider that a couple of times within the past like 6 months. Like, it's kind of relatable. And Momo's, Momo every now and then comes across as a jerk, which, you know what, he is kind of an asshole because he literally could just talk this out with Alice, and he does to some extent, but is still keeping his distance. But at the same time, he's got his kind of justifiable reasons to do so. So, goddamn, this show has got me in such a weird rock and a hard place spot where I want to say that this is a good show, but it's not. It's a little too tropey for my taste, and people will get sick. If people do not like shoujo, they will get sick of this shit so fast. Like, so fucking fast. But at the same time, it's got all the elements that I usually like in music anime. The soundtrack is super solid. It focuses on band drama that's fleshed out and kind of interesting to watch. It's got some characters that you could genuinely get attached to. Like, I kind of want Yuzu to win at the end of the day because he's a small man who is trying his hardest. Give him what he wants.
He's a tiny man.
Drinks a lot of milk, and God.
It's a really funny specific trope I've actually seen a few times now, and I'm really entertained by the little man who drinks a lot of milk and is still short.
Yeah, it's really fucking great. And I don't know, it's such a coin flip on these. It's gotten to the point where every single time I tune in, it's a 50-50 on whether the episode's going to be good or not. And that kind of shaky consistency, it's rough, especially when you're reaching close to the end of your fucking show. We're at episode, 10 now? We only got 2 more weeks. Oh my god, we only got 2 more weeks left in this season. Oh god. The heat's starting to get to me, and I'm gonna get delusional either way. We only got like 2 weeks left of content with this. You gotta fucking start making commitments. I know it's shoujo, and I know this is normal, but come on, Yuzu, stop being a little fucking bitch baby. Like, seriously. God, fucking... Okay, now with that out of the way, the other big name thing to happen this week was My Hero Academia. It got into 2 big name fights over the course of the past 2 weeks. The first fight was Izuku versus Todoroki. That's like one of the main headlining events of this entire fucking tournament arc, because it's All Might's protege versus Endeavor's protege, and Endeavor wins because it's sending the message, you know what? Hard work and dedication ain't got shit on eugenics. Bitch, have you even played a Fire Emblem game? Do you know what that kind of shit does? It does bonkers. Oh man, hard
work is nothing if you aren't bored with it.
Yeah, which is ultimately a very shitty message to send. And during the fight, but don't get me wrong, I wish I could have gotten more caps of this. I've just been criminally lazy this week. Like I said, I had a lot of shit going on this weekend, so I couldn't.
We graduated,
so we fucking couldn't just. But the fight itself, oh my god, the fight was fantastic. It was hype as
I've heard
shit.
the animation was amazing.
It was godlike. Easily, I would say, frame for frame, one of the best fights of the year so far.
Yes.
It was. I honestly did not feel that much hype surrounding a fight since Otasaku versus that one other dude in Bungo Stray Dogs last year, and that fight was just fantastic. I actually didn't even feel like, I would say this would have been on par with some of the shit that we saw in Thunderbolt Fantasy, and that is fucking high praise from me especially, because
Thunderbolt Fantasy was live action. It was live action.
Yeah, it was just as good, if not in some parts, if not better than some of those bits. It's just a shame that I was half expecting this outcome. I'm just like, they really can't go down this road, can they? Because fucking Deku's got plot armor up the ass, right? There's no way he can lose. And when he lost, I'm just like, oh, well, what the fuck does he do now for the rest of the series? Like,
well, I think it's one of those things where it's like, you know, like it's kind of like in. It's kind of like he lost, but it's a step forward. He held his ground, I'm guessing. Otherwise, it would have been a really short fight.
Well, the other step forward is that now he's like, Deku pushed himself to the fucking limit in this fight. I mean, well, you had to, because Todoroki's just like, no, you know what? I'm gonna fuck you up so hard that I'm actually gonna start using both sides. And I mean, he used both sides of his power. And we also get, his tragic backstory, which is, he's only around for eugenics, and Endeavor was a piece of shit to his mom, and that's very easy to see. What was a little bit more intricate was what was happening on Deku's side after the fight, where he had to have surgery on his fucking knee because he fucked it up from using All for One during the fight. And All Might now has, like, gotten it hammered into his head. It's like, okay, well, I need to fucking teach this dude a better way of using this power, or else he's actually just gonna rip himself to shreds anytime that he uses the power.
Yeah, it kind of shows that Deku is, like,
he's still learning.
He's still learning, yeah.
Yeah. All Might does expect a lot from him, and after all, I mean, it's a big burden to carry. You're literally in the hero world. In Deku's position, he's literally just being groomed to be the second coming of Jesus. That's a lot of pressure for a high schooler. And if you fucking get injured like that, sometimes your teachers just got to step back and be like, you know what? I think I'm coming at this the wrong way. You need to, like, fucking slow down. And also, Todoroki also got some good encouragement and finally has an understanding of what he needs to do so that he can use both sides of his body and not, like, succumb into his fucking dickhole father's wishes. Which is good that he's learning that. But the highlight for My Hero Academia, in my eyes, especially this week. Oh boy. You know what that means? Ida made it to the fucking semis, and he took out the trash. I was so happy during this fight. He did so good. He did so fucking good. I knew that he was, like, I had a fucking feeling in the pit of my stomach that he wasn't gonna do well, because at this point now all the plot armor has basically shifted over to Todoroki. But god damn,
actually, taken in tangent with what we learned from the other fight, this kind of shows that determination and hard work won't get you anywhere, but also natural talent won't get you there all the way. It's planning in combination with that talent.
Yeah, dude, and fucking Ida showed that with some great... He kicked Todoroki's ass in a couple of the spots. Like, oh man, I was just...
Okay, be real with me. Was it like the Lee Gara fight, or was it like... Nah.
There was some... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to completely bullshit and say that that it was nothing like it. There were some shades of it every now and then.
Well, I'm guessing that Todoroki, since he's a more sympathetic character, probably, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess it wouldn't be like 100% like that. But that's super duper cool.
It's one of those things where I don't know, like, fucking, he just tried his hardest and made it a really close fight, and I was just rooting for him. So I was getting, like, I got hyped for the Todoroki Izuku fight. I got even more hyped for this because it was my favorite character going up against the odds-on favorite, and he was holding his own, and it looked like he was gonna fucking win, but until the fucking carpet got pulled out for me inevitably. It was, like, I knew going into it that fucking Todoroki was basically Juventus, and Ida was, like, Manchester City and working town, and everybody wanted Ida to win because he was the underdog. But it wasn't meant to be. It's unfortunate. Ida is still number one in my heart. He's the bae. He is the best. I love him. I'm glad that he did so good. And yeah, just motherfucking, he went up against the biggest ball of plot armor and managed to put up a pretty good fight. So now the finals is looking to be Bakugo versus Todoroki.
Which, like, oh man, pretends to be surprised.
It's the goddamn Armada versus H-Box of this fucking show. God, it just... why could... Oh, either way. I mean, in the background, there's also been some developments. Ida's brother is going out hunting villains, and I'm pretty sure at some point they're going to come into play as soon as this tournament arc is over. Because, let's be real, they got bigger fish to fry. And also, this isn't even the end of the second season. We've got a full 26-episode season, and it's only reaching the end of the first quarter. So this is going to spill over into summer. So they just got to get stuff, mix-situated before they, drop any sort of big bombs, both figuratively and literally, I'm assuming. So yeah, Boku no Hero Academia has been nothing but non-stop action for the past 2 weeks. It's been really engaging. I'm liking what they've been doing in terms of like keeping characters consistent and also just developing characters further. Like Todoroki's backstory, I basically knew and I pieced it together from just observing his behavior for the first half of the season. I was like, oh, okay. He is the way he is because his father fucking bred him to be the perfect machine at the expense of treating the woman that he bred with as a inhuman fucking trash bag. Which that's okay. Well, you know what? That's rude, and you should never do that. Like, ever.
Putting it lightly, that's rude.
Yeah, putting it lightly, that's rude. Putting it harshly is that, oh wow, Endeavor, you're just Hitler. You're fucking.
He's a big bag of dicks.
Yeah, he is a huge bag of dicks, and he needs to fucking shave his fire stash, like fucking ugly ass. Either way, so yeah, I mean, I've just been enjoying My Hero Academia. I'm glad that it's spilling over into summer, so I have some more of this to watch along with the next show that I'm going to talk about, because if you thought that My Hero Academia got fucking serious, oh, baby, I am loving Recreators.
Everyone loves Recreators. I need to fucking watch it. I haven't had a life. I haven't had a life for like the whole season.
I'm not going to lie. Recreators got off on a little bit of a slow start at the first half of the season, but these past 2 weeks, oh my god, this is the past 2 weeks of this show and the moves that it's been making. It is securing itself as kind of a underrated gem. This has got the premise.
A buried gem because it's on Amazon Strike.
Yes.
And no one will be able to watch it.
This has got the premise. This has got the characters. This has got the story. This has got all the elements for this to be a huge fucking blockbuster that can run with My Hero Academia, fucking Kato the Right Answer. I would argue that this could even run toe-to-toe with Attack on Titan. See, like both of the seasons of Attack on Titan. Yet it's still kind of waiting in the wings, waiting to be popular. And
because it's behind 2 paywalls.
Yep. But one of the biggest reasons why I feel like it has exploded in quality is this character right here. Megane is possibly one of the best villains of the season. I would argue that she is just one of the best villains of the season.
When will I meet her? She's so cute.
She is cute, but oh my god, she is such a malicious little shit. I love her.
Here's the thing. You can tell by looking at her and her character design that she is a snake. And that's good character design.
It is. And the thing is, normally I would never go for chaotic evil. And the role that she's fulfilling in this story is absolute chaotic evil. She is not on Altair's side or Celestia Matoria's side at all. Like, she's taking her own side, and that side is, okay, you know what? All this is entertaining to me. I want to cause as much fucking havoc as I can because I think it's funny. And normally I'm thinking, well, it's just chaos for the sake of chaos. It's fine for a couple of minutes, but then it just gets repetitive and boring. Megane manages to keep it so fucking interesting and manages to work all the angles so well. I have no option rather than just doffed hat at the motherfucker. Like, she has calculated everything out. And it started with last week when she came across Mamika, who was fucking dying. That blast didn't kill her, but she was basically knocking on death's door. and it had the fucking inconvenience of Alisteria coming along at the wrong time. Mamika, bless her heart, she fucking tells Megane just like, okay, look, tell Alisteria that Altair is actually the bad guy and is looking to destroy this entire world, and we need to fucking fight her and not the other guys. And you think that she would tell the truth? Look at that face. Look at all of that face. Do you think that any part of that face would tell the truth? Any part of it?
It's like the coyote in the old stories, like the old folk tales. Like the coyote, someone's like, here, please tell this this important thing so that things don't go bad. And the coyote's like, I don't think so.
Fucking, when I'm dead, I'll fucking tell the truth. Fucking, it's just, it's so good. It's also compounded by fucking this huge fight that breaks out in between these two episodes. And it all starts with Megane basically making Sota feel like a big piece of shit, which, you know what, he kind of is.
He really deserves that, you know?
I mean, he kind of sat by while his supposed friend just killed herself, and fucking Megane really pours that on and guilt trips Sota into, you know, thinking that he is just absolutely worthless, which then sparks a huge fight between both sides, full stop. Alisteria is hoodwinked into thinking that Matoria actually killed Mamika, so, the white-haired girl that talks a lot, yeah, she killed your girlfriend. And Alisteria, like a fucking idiot, believes her. Alisteria, it's kind of a catch-22 because she's had the most character development out of everybody so far, yet she's the stupidest character. That's like putting the most character development in a Sonic game on Knuckles. Why? Why would you do it? You know what's gonna happen.
I mean, if we talk about it, if we really think about it, doesn't Knuckles have the most character development in Sonic?
Fuck, you're right. Alisteria, this
Knuckles.
entire time is just Knuckles.
Just like I think it's because she's like a lawful good character. She doesn't really think about any kind of repercussions besides like, I need to do this immediately.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that she explains. It's like, well, I'm all about Knight's Code and all that good bullshit. So she fights these guys because she feels like it's the right thing to do. Almost fucking kills Matoria. Impales Celestia when she comes around. And almost kills her. But the thing is, she didn't impale Celestia intentionally. Altair basically came in and helped her do it. And as soon as like they were in the position where they couldn't do shit, they basically Altair's just sitting on, so like, go ahead, fucking cut her head off. Like, you were gonna do it. And it turned Alisteria around off of the idea so quick. She just like, alright, well, Matori didn't do anything when I knocked her away. That was like off kilter. I didn't mean to do that. Celestia, I basically stabbed a defenseless person. That's not Night Code at all. I'm like flipping the fuck out. And they had the bad guys. The bad guys basically had the good guys up against a fucking wall for this fight, and it could have gone south so bad, but they finally found the key to making them get new powers. Fucking post artwork on Twitter, get a bunch of fucking retweets, and
clap your hands if you believe.
And then you can get your cool power up that only lasts for a little bit. Wow.
Cool.
Okay,
clap your hands
I will
if you
admit,
believe.
this power up sequence, this whole entire scene was fantastic, and it had me, hyped to the moon. And I thought it was great, but at the same time, just like, power up via Twitter. Yeah, no, if you look at it, it's kind of fucking stupid. It's kind of just, I don't know how to describe it other than just being a little bit on the ridiculous side of things.
I mean, I think it's one of those things where just like, it's like out of context, or like, even in context, it's a little silly, but like out of context, it's even sillier.
Yeah. And of course, there's also other things that happen that are also ridiculous. Like, you use fucking Stand, his JoJo stand. It got stolen by Magane because Magane's powers is basically to reverse cause and effect, basically by just getting somebody to talk to them, and you basically she basically sets up a verbal trap to where if somebody says it, then whatever they say, the normal cause and effect, it gets flipped. So because of that, she manages to steal the fucking JoJo stand that he has. Just even though before the fight, Mitoria specifically said to him, "Yo, if you fucking talk to this bitch, she could like flip your words around on you."
Yeah, don't fucking talk to this bitch.
And like a fucking idiot, he keeps doing it. Why? Just stop.
He's gonna catch the idiot ball, you know?
God damn it. And also, like, the Twitter power-up, going back to the Twitter power-up, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but it only lasted for the duration of the fight. Immediately afterwards, Celestia goes back to being impaled and near death. I'm like, you know what? No. If you're going to have a fucking power-up, at least have healing factor. Don't be like, well, power's away. Oh, by the way, you're still mortally wounded, so you might want to fix that out really soon.
I can understand why they wouldn't fix it, because it would remove kind of some of the week-to-week tension.
Yeah.
But, you know, I do agree it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, but all that aside, the show is in a really cool spot right now where people are, on both sides, are mortally wounded and or dead. Magane has a persona stand that is capable of mass destruction, no pun intended there, and is gonna start just wrecking shit left and right. Altair's kind of a little bit out of commission because of the last fight, and now they're starting to understand kind of the tricks behind her game.
Mm-hmm.
It's all leading up to a great break in the middle to where this show can easily coast into summer right now and come back with some big numbers. Like these last 2 episodes alone are, I would say, justifies Recreators 100%. If you haven't watched this show, please, I implore you, give it a watch. A lot of people are saying that this is a future classic. I remember watching one YouTube video on the subject. And you know what? I was a little skeptical at first, but now I totally 100% believe them. This show I feel like this show deserves to be up there with the other blockbusters that came out this season. My Hero Academia, Kato the Right Answer, and I do think that this show should be up there with Attack on Titan as a must-watch for this season. It's just so good now that I recommend it 100%. Mm-hmm. God, like, just the past 2 episodes, the fights were so well choreographed and well drawn. Everything is now making sense. And you know what? It's making up for some of the exposition-heavy moments in the beginning. So, you know what?
I'm really like surprised to hear that it's maintaining the fight quality, the animation quality throughout the thing. It's really nice to hear.
Yeah. So, good stuff on Recreators. I would talk about it for a lot longer, but at the same time, just fucking that would be boring. Alright, so instead we're going to get on to the last show of our short little thing. Mia's going to take us home with Twin Angel Break, which apparently was bonkers. To the point where she took like 5 million screen caps more than I... Okay, it's fair, I was lazy and graduation and I didn't take a lot of screen caps, but this apparently was insane enough to where there's a lot to talk about in Twin Angel Break.
Like, let me talk about something. Like, this honestly pushed these last string of episodes that I missed because I was doing other shit in my life, actually pushed Twin Angel from being like extremely mediocre to almost good. And that in itself was surprising as hell. Let's get started really quick and like a bit of a tangent before we start. It started with the beach episode, and that beach episode won me over actually with the most adorable thing ever. The girl who normally wears a sheep hat and says "ba" all the time, her like swimming outfit is her wearing like an octopus hat which is adorable and like the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want that octopus hat.
It's really fucking cute.
It's cute.
And this whole episode, like, and the thing is like, despite being a beach episode, the entire episode was an extremely pure beach episode, which I think is the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah, that's fucking rare. Oh my god.
Yeah, there were no weird pot shots or weird cleavage shots of anyone. So that was that was good. That started things out on a really positive note. Anyway, we get introduced to these two characters who are Vale and Nui, but they're very clearly the two evil twins that are part of the four evil evil sovereigns.
Yeah, that basically just pawns in the scheme.
Well, they're autonomous here, but Mary's like the head of them all and everything. But they're very clearly those guys that we've seen a lot of times in the evil meeting room of doom.
Yep.
But what's funny about them is that they're actually the idol group 28, which I'm not sure why they're called the 28s when there's two of them. And also, first of all, I was just really surprised at this because they actually set up foreshadowing for the 28s being important way in advance. Like, they had them, like, episode, like, 4 or something like that, and they had, like, people talking about them. So it wasn't like this was, like, out of nowhere, like, oh, suddenly idols. They've just kind of been in the background. But the reveal of them being the actual idols was kind of surprising to me. Another thing that I thought was fucking hilarious, which was some real, like, Love Live Idol Master shit, was their whole gimmick was that they're, like, they make sashimi on stage.
Huh.
And that's their gimmick, and their debut single was about slicing tuna. And that's their thing. And it's like, okay. It was like really just kind of funny and weird, but like really endearing too, because it just became this character trait that established them and like continued to be part of them as the episodes with the two of them continued. But yeah, when they first encounter them, we see their like evil outfit forms, and we see that they actually have a lot of clout in fighting wise, which is completely unlike a lot of the other villains we've seen so far. They have Gatling arms, which is badass.
That's cool as shit.
It's the coolest fucking shit ever. When his hands retracted in the first battle, I was like, holy fuck. And I was just like immediately on board with these two. Because they already established themselves as like being interesting looking, because you know, like they've got this whole get up here and they've got the whole twins thing. But then they revealed that they're like they have guns and shit. And that's cool as hell. Anyway, so the thing that really happens in the 4 episodes between the first encounter and the end of their encounter here was that Vale and Meguru become really good friends. Like, they run into each other in the street after they meet each other at the concert, the impromptu beach concert they put on. And Meguru like helped out with the line and everything and made sure people were like not getting rowdy and stuff like that. And so she remembered her, and Meguru was like, "Oh my god, you remembered my name! That's so cool!" And it's really adorable because like Vale doesn't seem to know or understand like a lot of like the rules of society. Like, she tries to cross the street when a car's coming and the crosswalk's not on, and she's like, yeah, she tries to cross the street, and she's just like, well, they always stop, so I don't really see what this problem. She's like, no.
That's not the point.
Yeah, Meguru's like, no, you gotta wait for the light. That's the rules. And she's like, oh, I didn't get it. Thanks. And so like she like teaches her all these rules and stuff like that, and then says goodbye. And then immediately, basically like the next day, she and her brother transfer into their school, and they're like, oh, so why did you decide to go to this school? And she's like, oh, I want to see Meguru because she's really cool and I want to hang out with her. And that was super fucking cute. It was the cutest thing because they become like best friends. And Meguru just explains to her like a bunch of stuff she doesn't understand, and it's really adorable and endearing. And when she says, What?
You're gonna have to answer me truthfully here. How close does it get to gals being pals territory?
It's real close to gals being pals territory, in my opinion. I mean, like, I've always got the girls love goggles on anyway, so like,
yes.
But like, if you go to the next slide where it shows them like doing various activities, there's an entire montage of just them doing a bunch of sports and stuff, and Meguru being like, "Oh my god, you're so cool," and her just being like, "Hey," and it's really cute. And they go out and they walk home together and they get crepes, and then they take a bite of their crepes, and then they switch the crepes, and then they're like, "Man, yours is better." It's so fucking cute.
Yep, that's gay.
It's real gay. It's some real gay shit. And it's really cute because she's like, before you, Meguru, no one would really stay around me. I mean, like, besides my brother, but like that doesn't count. And it's the cutest fucking thing because when she says like, "Yeah, we're friends now. Like, we're friends. We get along," and she's like, "Friends?" And she's like, "Yeah, friends is like when like you get along well a lot and like you care about each other, you look out for each other, and like you understand each other and all this stuff, and your hearts resonate." And she's like, "Oh my god, we're friends!" And like it was so cute.
I tolerate your existence.
It was so cute. It killed my heart. Oh my god. And then at the end of this episode, it revealed something which I immediately expected after seeing the Gatling arms. She and her brother are actually robots. They're not real humans. And so the whole thing is, the reason they're working with Mary to like collect these evil darkness metals and shit like that is because that is the only way that they know of that they think they can become human. And so that's why they're doing it. And the reason they want to become human is because the old woman who owned them, like their grandmother, they call her, who owned them before she had died, and that like loved them so much that they became real people, basically.
Yep.
Like that was one of her wishes before she died, that they could become human. And that's what they're trying to do. So that's why they're doing this evil shit, is like because they just want to be human. And that immediately killed me.
Yeah.
Because it's just like robots wanting to become human is like the most existential shit that I like absolutely die about every time.
Yeah, it's the fucking Tin Man wanting a real heart trope that it's you know it's kind of cliche, but at the same time it's a good existential crisis for a robot to have. Like,
yeah. And the thing is like she's like learning all these things about like humans and Meguru and just like friendship and learning all these great things that like normal people have. And so like the fact that she's not like them becomes like even more unsettling to her. And so it just kills me because the only way that she knows of that she can become human is to do these bad things, which only alienate her from, well, she doesn't know what alienates her from the others, but like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after a series of events that include a lot of Sumire and Nui keeping the two of them apart, because of saying like, here, you really shouldn't hang out with them anymore, because Sumire and Nui, being the smart kids, find out pretty much immediately that Sumire and Nui are respectively part of the opposite team, and they're just like trying to help their friends / sister and trying to spare their feelings and say, you know what, you should just really not hang out with them. But they persist in hanging out together and seeing each other, and it's really endearing because she gets really upset at her brother when he tells her, he's like, come on, you need to like stop doing this, we got to go back and just do whatever and never see her again. And she starts crying, and then he immediately is like, shit, okay, we're not doing this anymore, then we're done, we're not doing it.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. And
fuck it,
Vale,
fuck you, fuck everything.
Vale, okay, and Vale, the whole thing here is that Vale, like Meguru finds out Vale's a robot in the most like melodramatic way possible, where like she finds Meguru like in walking the dog, and like she goes over to talk to her, and like Meguru gets surprised and lets go of the dog's leash, and the dog runs into the middle of the road.
Oh,
and
no.
almost gets hit by the car, but Vale like grabs the dog and like jumps in front of the car and saves the dog. And she gets this tear in the side of her abdomen, showing like her inside parts. And immediately, like, everyone's like, what the fuck? But despite that, they continue to be friends, and they determine that, you know what, we're gonna keep being friends. And Vale convinces her brother to tell Mary that they should just not be bad guys anymore. Because Meguru, like, goes to Samira, he's just like, what if we just, like, ask them to not be bad guys? And Samira's like, that's fucking stupid. They're not gonna do that. And then they do that. They fucking stop being bad guys. And they put on one last goodbye concert in an amusement park. And they go there with their friends and have a good time. But lo and behold, Mary interrupts their concert and is trying to take medals from people's hearts while they're entertaining them.
Oh no.
So obviously, like, a big fight happens. This time, and honestly, okay, this is a big thing I need to emphasize, because this is honestly something that I've never seen before. This show's fight animation only has improved as the show has gone on.
That's good.
Like, it's really good, because it was super shitty in the first couple of episodes.
I can imagine.
Like, it was real shitty. It's still kind of touch and go quality-wise, but, like, choreography-wise, it's so much better now.
That's a surprise, because considering JC Staff's track record for anything that's not their A shows in the past, see also Taboo Tattoo, that's really fucking rare to see.
Yeah, it's really weird, and it just anyway. So there's like a 4-on-1 battle, and they obviously defeat Mary because they're fucking robots. But then Mary's just like, oh well, you know what? I didn't want to do this, but
she had the kill switch, didn't she?
Yeah, she has their kill switch, and she hits the kill switch. And then when before and after they explode, she says to Meguru's face, "If this is your fault that this happened. If you hadn't become their friends, they wouldn't have died just now." And we end at the last episode on zooming in on Meguru's face of absolute shock and horror. And the only thing left of Vale is the matching friendship bracelet she had with Meguru.
You know what?
It fucking hurt.
Yeah, as it's supposed to.
Hurt.
Because
it really hurt.
As is demonstrated in this, as is demonstrated in Recreators, as is demonstrated in a lot of Magical Girl ever since Madoka came around, being Maguka is suffering.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. This, and I didn't take any screen caps of the last episode, the most recent one, but this translates into, like, a really weird sort of thing where, like, now that Meguru is depressed, they also found out that she has this, like, dark power, and Mary has basically captured her and put her into, like, you know in The Princess Bride, that one machine that sucks the life out of people?
Yeah.
Basically, it's that.
Oh, no.
Except it's like converting those like evil, those like life coins, those energy coins into bigger energy coins. And it's just like, holy shit. And she's gonna use that power of hers to summon her dead master, which is, I'm assuming from the original Twin Angel, his name's Velucifer. So yeah, it kind of got a little nuts, to put it lightly.
Wow.
Also, there's a background plot about Samire's brother being not dead and then being hypnotized and then being dead again. And
but nobody fucking
we don't
cares.
really care.
No.
Nobody cares.
It's all about the gay robots. It's all
about the gay robots.
It's a one constant throughout all media that I know that you and me consume, is that if it doesn't have gay robots in it, then our interest kind of just declines.
Honestly, like, okay, here's the thing. All robots are gay. That's it. There's no such thing as a straight robot. Because there's no such thing as a robot with a real gender.
Yeah, it's a robot. You could just, like, you could have it be in love with girls, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna flip this switch, bam, into dudes. All right, here's another switch over here, bam, into everybody.
Anyway, I want to write fanfic about like a universe where this didn't happen, and they're just girlfriends, and that's it.
Yeah,
because that's what I need now.
I don't blame you.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it's so sad. But yeah, it's been a lot happened these past couple weeks in the anime world since we kind of stepped away from it for a week. Like, damn, it's like in between the stuff I had to do for Smash and Splash and graduation this weekend, a lot happened, and it also sucks because now I'm just realizing that we're getting so close to the end of the season, and we're still gonna be like, I still feel like
playing catch up.
Yeah, but you know what? I actually kind of like it a little bit this way because I mean it's a little bit less on the workload for me. I get to relax for a little bit, and kind of it doesn't feel like I'm pressed for time on a lot of these shows. That, and also, if I was not having a good time watching anything of mine, this I would be like, you know what, I'm just gonna put the entire fucking podcast on hiatus. Fuck it. But no, I've got My Hero Academia, which is really good. I got Recreators, which has exploded in quality, and I've got Fukumenki Noise, which is still good.
It's maintained.
Yeah, it is easily the worst show that I'm watching, but that is actually not a bad thing this time. And also, Berserk 2017 is still rotting in a pit of fire, which is good. There you go. That's basically everything that we covered, and I'm sorry for all the fans that were expecting to hear from Emily about how As the Moon is really cute and Sakura Quest is really good and Sinbin is... You know what? I'm pretty sure that me and Emily have dropped Sinbin at this point. Because
we can't be sure, but you know,
I'm sure that I have lost interest because we got to the fucking sloth episode and that happened. I'm just like looked at the rest of it. I'm just like, wow, there's really nothing else for me to do here. Like, I kind of just wanted to stay on board to see the sloth episode, and yeah, that was it. Like,
was it underwhelming?
It was okay. No. I stated last week that the sloth episode was easily the best fucking episode of that godforsaken show, but even the best episode of that show is just, oh well, it's a slightly above average titty anime. I don't really have a whole lot of interest in this to begin with. I was really only on the ride for the cute girl with the tanuki tail, and they even managed to fuck her up in a lot of aspects in her own episode, which, if you want to check out, you know, there's fucking links at the end of the video every week. I don't have to, like, say shit. But, yeah, so, deal is, Emily's probably going to be out of commission next week as well, but all three of us will be back in a couple weeks for our Waifu Watch Snaps episode for the Stacked as Hell summer season. And no, I don't want to be reminded that I gotta choose. Fucking that, and also our end of the season recap, which is coming up on 1 full year since we started this podcast, which is fun. So,
oh my god!
Yeah, look forward to that. So until next week, it'll just be me and Mia for a while. So, oops, it's all right though. But as always, we'll be back next week with more Waifu Watch podcasts. So until then, have a good rest of the week and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.